Earth. Time passed. The process of existence on this planet. Tried. He had of course soon to begin making up to the treasury all that was short. First put in everything he had himself, and afterwards everything he could get from his nearest, dwelling also there on the planet Earth. And when he had drained dry his nearest there, he addressed himself for assistance to his nearest dwelling on the planet Mars. But soon on the planet Mars also everything ran dry, and still the treasury of the city of Samlios demanded more and again more, nor was the end of its needs in sight. It was just then that all the kinsmen of this countryman of ours became alarmed, and thereupon they decided to address themselves to me with the request to help them out of their plight. So, my boy, when we arrived in the said city, I was met by all the beings of our tribe, both old and young, who had remained on that planet. In the evening of the same day, a general meeting was called to confer together to find some way out of the situation that had arisen. To this conference of ours there was also invited King Apollos himself, with whom our elder countryman had already previously had many talks on this matter, with this aim in view. At this first general conference of ours, King Apollos, addressing himself to all, said as follows: Impartial friends, I personally deeply sorry for what has occurred and what has brought about so many troubles for those assembled here. And I am distressed in all my being that it is beyond my power to extricate you from your prospective difficulties. You must know indeed, King Apollos continued, that the machinery of the government of my community, which has been wound up and organised during many centuries, is at the present time already radically changed, and to revert to the old order is already impossible without serious consequences, namely without those consequences which must doubtless evoke the indignation of the majority of my subjects. The present situation is such that I alone am not able to abolish what has been created without provoking the mentioned serious consequences, and I therefore beg you all, in the name of justice, to help me to deal with it. Still further, then added, I bitterly reproach myself in the presence of you all, because I also am greatly to blame for all these misfortunes. And I am to blame because I ought to have foreseen what has occurred, since I have existed in these conditions longer than my opponent and your kinsman, namely he with whom I made the agreement known to you. To tell the truth, it was unpardonable of me to risk entering into such conditions with a being who, although he may be of much higher reason than I, is, nevertheless, not so practised in such affairs as I am. Once more I beg all of you, and your right reverence in particular, to forgive me and to help me out of this sad plight, and enable me to find some issue from the situation that has been created. With things as they now are, I can at present do only what you will indicate. After King Apollos had left, we decided the same evening to select from among ourselves several experienced elderly beings who should weigh together that same night all the data and draw up a rough plan for further action. The rest of us then departed on the understanding that we should assemble the ensuing evening at the same place, but to this second conference of ours, King Apollos was not invited. When we assembled the next day, one of the elder beings, elected the night before, first reported as follows: We pondered and deliberated the whole night upon all the details of this lamentable event. As a result, we have unanimously come to the conclusion, first of all, that there is no way out but to revert to the former conditions of government. Further, we all, and also unanimously, agree that to return to the former order of government must inevitably provoke a revolt of the citizens of the community, and, of course, that there will certainly follow all those consequences of revolt which have already become inevitable in such circumstances during recent times on earth. And of course, as has also become usual here, many of those so-called power-possessing beings of this community will suffer terribly, even possibly to the degree of their complete destruction. and above all, it seemed impossible that King Apollos could escape such a fate. Thereafter, we deliberated in order, if possible, to devise some means of diverting the said unhappy consequences, at least from King Apollos himself. And we had every wish to devise such a means because, at our general conference yesterday evening, King Apollos himself was very frank and friendly towards us, and we should all be extremely sorry if he himself should suffer. During our further prolonged deliberations, we came to the conclusion that it would be possible to divert the blow from King Apollos only if during the said revolt the exhibition of the fury of the rebellious beings of this community was directed not against the king himself, but against those around him, that is, those who were there called his administration. But then the question rose among us, would those near the king be willing to take upon themselves the consequences of all this? And we came to the categorical conclusion that they certainly would not agree, because they would assuredly consider that the king himself had been alone to blame for it all, and that therefore he himself should pay for it. Having come to all these aforesaid conclusions, we finally also unanimously decided as follows. In order at least to save King Apollos from what is inevitably expected, we must, with the consent of the king himself, replace all the beings in this community who now hold responsible posts by beings of our tribe, and each of these latter, during the climax of this psychosis of the masses, must take upon himself a share of the consequences anticipated. When this elected being of ours had finished his report, our opinion was quickly formed, and a unanimous resolution was carried to do just as the elder beings of our tribe had advised. And thereupon, we first sent one of our elder beings to King Apollos to put our plan before him, to which the latter agreed, once more repeating his promise, namely, that he would do everything according to our directions. We then decided to delay no longer, and from the following day to begin to replace all the officials by our own. But after 2 days, it turned out that there was not sufficient beings of our tribe dwelling on the planet Earth to replace all the officials of that community, and we therefore immediately sent the occasion back to the planet Mars for our beings there. And meanwhile, King Apollos, guided by 2 of our elder beings, began, under different pretexts, replacing various officials by our beings, at first in the capital Samnios itself. And when several days later our ship Occasion arrived on the planet Mars with beings of our tribe, similar replacements were made in the provinces also, and soon everywhere in that community what are called the responsible posts were filled by the beings of our tribe. And when all had been changed in this way, King Apollos, always under the guidance of these elder beings of ours, began the restoration of the former code of regulations for the administration of the community. Almost from the very first days of the restoration of the old code, the effects upon the general psyche of the beings of that community, in whom the consequences of the mentioned property of the maleficent organ Kundabaka had already been thoroughly crystallized, began, as it was expected, to manifest themselves. Thus the expected discontent grew thereupon from day to day, till one day, not long after, there occurred just that which has ever since been definitely proper to be present in the presence of the free-brain beings there of all ensuing periods, and that is to produce from time to time the process which they themselves nowadays call revolution. And during their revolution of that time, as it has also become proper there to these free-brain phenomena of our great universe, they destroyed a great deal of the property which they had accumulated during centuries. Much of what is called the knowledge which they had attained during centuries also was destroyed and lost forever, and the existence of those other beings similar to themselves, who had already chanced upon the means of freeing themselves from the consequences of the properties of the organ Kundabaka, were also destroyed. It is extremely interesting to notice here one exceedingly astonishing and incomprehensible fact, and that is that during their later revolutions of this kind, almost all the free-brain beings there, or at least the overwhelming majority, would begin to fall into such a psychosis, always destroy for some reason or other the existence of just such upper beings like themselves, as have, for some reason or other, chanced to find themselves more or less on the track of the means of becoming free from the crystallization in themselves, the consequences of the properties of that maleficent organ Kundabapa, which unfortunately their ancestors possessed. So, my boy, while the process of this revolution of theirs was running its course, King Apollos himself existed in one of his suburban palaces of the city of Samnios. Nobody laid a finger on him, because our beings had arranged by their propaganda that the whole blame should be placed not upon King Apollos, but upon those surrounding him, that is, as they are called, his administration. Moreover, the beings who had fallen into the said psychosis even suffered grief and really pitied their king, saying that it was because their poor king had been surrounded by such unconscionable and ungrateful subordinates that these undesirable revolutions had occurred. And when the revolutionary psychosis quite died down, King Apollos returned to the city of Samnios, and again with the help of our older beings, gradually began replacing our countrymen, either by those of his old subordinates who were still alive, or by selecting absolutely new ones from among his other subjects. And when the earlier policy of King Apollos towards his subjects had been re-established, then the citizens of this community resumed filling the treasury with money as usual, and carrying out the directions of their king, and the affairs of the community settled again to the former already established tempo. As for our naive, unfortunate countryman, who was the cause of it all, it was so painful to him that he would no longer remain upon that planet that had proved so disastrous for him, but he returned with us to the planet Mars, and later on became there an even excellent bailiff for all the beings of our tribe. Chapter 17. The Arch Absurd. According to the assertion of Beelzebub, our sun neither lights nor heats. In order, my dear Hussein, that you should meanwhile have an approximate representation also of just how far that function called the instinctive sensing of reality, which is proper to every free-brain being of the whole of our great universe, is already entirely lacking in the present years of the three-centred beings breeding on the planet Earth, and especially in those of the most recent periods. It will be enough to begin with, I think, if I explain to you only about how they understand and explain to themselves the causes why they periodically proceed on their planet those cosmic phenomena which they call daylight, darkness, heat, cold, and so on. All, without exception, of the free-brain beings of that planet who have attained the age of a responsible being, and even those many and various wiseacres existing there, which they call sciences, are categorically certain that all the said phenomena arrive on their planet completely, so to say, ready-made, D-I-R-E-C-T-L-Y, from their own sun. And as Mullah Nasir Eddin would say in such cases, no more hokey-pokey about it. What is peculiar in this case is that, except for certain beings who existed before the second Translepanian perturbation, there absolutely no doubt whatever concerning their certainty of theirs has ever as yet crept into a single one of them. Not only has not a single one of them, having a reason which, though strange, has nevertheless some semblance to sane logic, ever yet doubted the causes of the said phenomena, but not a single one of them has manifested concerning these cosmic phenomena even that strange special property of their common psyche, which also became proper to the free-brain beings of that planet alone, and which is called to fantasy. Having said these last words, Beelzebub, after a little while, with a bitter smile, continued to talk as follows. You, for instance, have the normal presence of a free-brained being, and within your presence there is intentionally implanted from without Oskianu, or as they say there on the earth, education, which is founded on a morality based solely on the commandments and indications of the uni-being himself and the most holy individuals near to him. And yet, if you should chance to be there among them, you should be unable to prevent the process in yourself of the being nurturigor, that is, the process which, again, there on the earth, is called irrepressible inner laughter. That is to say, you would not be able to restrain yourself from such laughter if in some way or another they were suddenly clearly to sense and understand, without any doubt whatever, that not only does nothing like light, darkness, heat and so on come to their planet from their sun itself, but that their supposed source of heat and light is itself almost always freezing cold, like the hairless dog of our highly esteemed Wilhelm Hedin. In reality, the surface of their source of heat, like that of all the ordinary suns of our great universe, is perhaps more covered with ice than the surface of what they call their North Pole. Surely this herb of heat and soul would rather borrow heat, if only a little, from some source of cosmic substance, than send a part of its own heat to any other planet, especially to that planet which, though it belongs to its system, yet in consequence of the splitting off from it on the whole side, became a lopsided monstrosity, and is now already a source of offensive shame for that poor system, Ours. But do you yourself know, my boy, in general how and why, in the atmosphere of certain planets, during auto-egocratic processes, there proceed those Kitschstarts, Klitsch, Tainolair, Pashachkar, and other such phenomena, which your favourites call daylight, darkness, cold, heat, and so on, Beelzebub asked to say. If you don't clearly understand, I shall explain this also to you a little. Although I have promised to explain to you, only later, all the fundamental laws of world creation and world maintenance in detail, yet the necessity here has arisen to touch upon, if only briefly, the questions concerning these cosmic laws, without waiting for that special talk I promised. And this is necessary in order that you may be able better to take in all that we are now talking about, and also in order that what I have already told you may be transubstantiated in you in the right way. It is necessary to say, first of all, that everything in the universe, both the intentionally created and the later automatically arisen, exists and is maintained exclusively on the basis of what is called the common cosmic trog-auto-egocratic process. This most great common cosmic trog-auto-egocratic process was actualized by our endless uni-being when our most great and most holy Sun Absolute had already existed, on which our all-glorious, endless Creator had and still has the chief place of his existence. This system, which maintains everything arisen and existing, was actualized by our endless Creator in order that what is called the exchange of substances, or the reciprocal feeding of everything that exists, might proceed in the universe, and thereby that the merciless hieropath might not have its maleficent effect on the Sun Absolute. This same most great common cosmic trog-auto-egocratic process is actualized always and in everything on the basis of the two fundamental cosmic laws, the first of which is called the fundamental first degree sacred heptaparapashino, and the second, the fundamental first degree sacred triamazikamno. Owing to these two fundamental sacred cosmic laws, there arise first from the substance called epheroquilno, under certain conditions, what are called crystallizations, and from these crystallizations, but later, and also under certain conditions, there are formed various large and small, more or less independent, cosmic definite formations. It is just within and upon these cosmic definite formations that the processes of what are called the involution and evolution of the already formed concentrations, and also the said crystallizations take place. Of course, also according to the two said fundamental sacred laws, and all the results obtained from these processes in atmospheres, and further, by means of these atmospheres themselves, blend and go for the actualizing of the said exchange of matters for the purposes of the most great common cosmic Trog-Auto-Ego Krat. Everokrilno is that prime source substance with which the universe is filled, and which is the basis for the arising and maintenance of everything existing. Not only is this Everokrilno the basis for the arising of all cosmic concentrations without exception, both large and small, but also all cosmic phenomena in general proceed during some transformation in this same fundamental cosmic substance, as well as during the processes of the involution and evolution of various crystallizations, or as your favourites say, of those active elements which have obtained and still continue to obtain their prime arising from this same fundamental prime source cosmic substance. Bear in mind here that it is just because of this that the mentioned objective science says that everything without exception in the universe is material. You must also know further that only one cosmic crystallization, existing under the name omnipresent Okidarnok, obtains its prime arising, although it also is crystallized from Everokrilno, from the three holy sources of the sacred Theomurta Malagos, that is, from the emanation of the most holy Sun Absolute. Everywhere in the universe, this omnipresent Okidarnok, or omnipresent active element, takes part in the formation of all both great and small arisings, and is, in general, the fundamental cause of most of the cosmic phenomena, and, in particular, of the phenomena proceeding in the atmospheres. In order that you may be able to understand, at least approximately concerning this